Next up on the main stage, Stanford head coach Jerod Haase and student athletes Dejon Davis and Josh Sharma. Have at it. Scrum style up front. Fire away.
Good, how are you?
Good. Wanted to ask you about kind of the length of your team. I remember you saying it was 6 or 7 guys that have 7-foot wingspans, and just kind of how that kind of plays into your philosophy, recruiting-wise, and kind of the team you're trying to build at Stanford.
Yeah, at this point we do have a team that's long and fairly athletic. It's been a priority in the recruiting the last couple years is to recruit skilled guys that have length. And we do have long wingspans and fairly athletic guys, and I think our philosophy of how we're going to play really fits in with that as well. So defensively, we're trying to be as disruptive as we can, without just going crazy and giving up layups and that kind of thing. But we're trying to be disruptive and play fast. Last year, especially when we got into the conference season, we were playing up tempo and getting out in primary and secondary breaks. And I think with our length and athleticism and skill, that's a priority again this year.
How many guys is it exactly that have that wingspan?
And I think it's either 6 or 7 guys that have 7-foot wingspans or greater.
Okay. So. And how much of a nod is that to kind of the way the game has kind of progressed, like with respect to the NBA?
Yeah, I think the game in general is long and lean, athletic, but there's also been proven time and time again there's a lot of different ways to play and be successful. This fits in for how I want to play and kind of the vision for the program.
Thank you. How do you process the loss of someone as good as important as Reed? I mean, what was that whole experience like?
Yeah, with Reed, obviously he's moved on, and it's not something that it took a lot of processing once he made that decision. The team especially, but everybody moved on quickly, and we have developed a game plan and talked to the guys about their individual roles and what we need to do to move forward. But obviously he and Mike, Dorian, we had a lot of pieces last year that were experienced, that were in general very big, strong, physical guys, and we're going to have to evolve as a team, evolve as a program, but it's something that we did so very quickly.
Health, I mean, obviously that's something that's been really hurting your program. How much different is this, going into a year, relatively healthy? Yeah,
it's always the having guys that are healthy and getting the guys on the floor is goal number one, certainly. And from our strength coach to how we develop practices to how we're developing the whole big picture here is important. And one of the goals is that we can develop some depth that you can hopefully absorb foul trouble, absorb injuries, absorb any kind of hiccups as we move forward. But trying to keep the guys healthy is certainly a priority. And as we get into the season, especially into the games, teams that are healthy are certainly going to have a big advantage.
Jerod, 6 of the 12 schools in the league have been implicated in some form or fashion in the federal investigation. Does that concern you about whether you're playing on a level playing field in the conference?
Yeah, in terms of the investigation of the trial right now, I think it's always a goal. And to be honest with you, with all the times we're out on the road and talking to coaches, that there seems to be a priority. I know from my own standpoint that, yeah, you do want an even playing field, and that's certainly the end goal when they talk about the Rice Commission and all the steps that are put in place right now. I think it's with the intent that we always have an even playing field, and how it all plays out will be interesting. I do think moving forward with everyone with that in mind is important.
You've been paying attention kind of what's been coming out of there? Or?
Certainly, I think within college athletics, it's you're always trying to be well versed and that kind of thing. And right now, it's just a wait and see approach. As things unfold. But I am optimistic, and I'm an optimistic person. I do believe that at the end of this, that's going to be a really strong product. College basketball is going to end up in a good spot, and it doesn't mean anything's perfect. Just like in any business or industry, it's not perfect. But I do think with the right people in place, the right goals in mind, we're going to get to a place that's going to be really, really positive.
So you liked what came out of the Rice Commission?
You know, with the Rice Commission, I think I like the fact that we're trying. And I'll hold judgment in terms of every date or every camp or every AAU tournament and how it plays out, because the one thing I will say is I don't have all the answers. But I do like the fact that we're trying to be assertive and aggressive to making it the best situation we can. Thanks.
Coach.
Hey,
What's up, man?
how are you?
I'm really good. I just got here, so I don't know the questions that were asked before, but last year, few injuries, KZ not available, so the start of the year was slow. Now, if everybody's healthy, how do you get your guys to understand the importance of every single game? No matter if you're playing, you know, out of the country, out of state, wherever. How do you get them to understand that just because it's not about, we're not in the conference play, that every game matters? It will be judged at the end of the year.
Well, I think one of the characteristics of our team is we're very, very young, and hopefully it's not a defining characteristic as we move on through the season. But with a young team, I think one positive is I think when I look in their eyes, I think they believe in me, they believe in the staff, and so when we deliver messages, right now I think it's resonating with them. But we do need to make sure they understand that it's not an AAU weekend with 8 games and you know, games just kind of you go on to the next one. It's understanding that not only every game but every practice, every possession impacts the program, and having a sense of urgency and an understanding of how important every situation is into building the final product. And so that's a message that's trying to be delivered every day, and how much is sinking in, time will tell.
So with Reed gone, there's a big void there as far as production, and you have some people there, but are you playing with the lineups in practice every day, and which lineups do you really like that you look at and you're like, man, this is pretty cool, this could be different, this could be tough to defend?
Yeah, right now we have a group of individuals that I think are very, very versatile, and then collectively that adds to even more versatility. I mean, we can get out there and have a team that is very, very small and athletic and quick, you know, kind of 1 through 5, all 5 positions that are out there, and we can have lineups that are extremely long, you know, and lean, and it's the versatility piece has been fun, and we are tinkering with you know, lineups and what works best together. And as we're doing this too, each individual is trying to showcase what they can do and how they can provide to the program. And so I'm not going in with a set idea of this lineup, or we have to have a traditional 2-man or 3-man or 4-man or 5-man. It's more, what are our best components, what are our best ways we can put this all together, and that'll be the final product. So I think we do have some ability to be flexible as a staff, and the players need to understand right now that their production and their ability to do the things we ask will be important for their playing time, and more importantly to our team's success.
You go from a senior-dominated team to a sophomore kind of dominated team. You're going to have to count it. I know it's your first recruiting class is that sophomore class now. You're going to have to rely on them a lot more this year. Yeah, of the 13 scholarships, 10 are underclassmen, and it is a young group, and not only the sophomores but the freshmen, and the freshmen are going to be relied on a fair amount this year. So the growth process is, look, that's going to be what dictates our season. I think we do have some talent. I think we have lots of reasons to be optimistic, but how quickly can we grow up and learn the lessons? I think last year we saw that to a certain extent, that you did have some older guys and some veterans, and with the young guys and how that all meshed together, and it took a little bit longer, and we certainly did have some other issues and, you know, injuries and guys that weren't available in the non-conference, but our ability to grow throughout the year will really impact our team and really define who we're going to be.
Coach, one last wingspan inquiry. Just curious, who has the longest wingspan on the team, and do you know what that is, like 7'2"?
I will get back to you on that. I think we have a couple guys that are 7'2". I do think, I mean, Josh, Keenan, KZ. Trying to think. I think 7'2" is the max, though.
Okay.
Cool. So, yep.
Coach, you talked about wanting to focus on the defense a lot in the first couple of weeks of these practice sessions. If you had to give a grade, how do you feel it's going?
Defensively, I think we are certainly spending a lot of time. I think the grade right now would be a B. You know, it's probably an A in terms of throwing a lot of information out there and trying to learn quickly. The execution is probably about a C in terms of being able to get it done right. And then as long as we have the intent as an A, I'm pretty confident we're going to get to where we have to get to.
Do you feel like you're on schedule?
Yeah, it's hard to give a defined schedule for these guys. In terms of the X and O's, I do think we're on schedule. And actually, in terms of the growth and development, kind of the collectively as a team and having a young team grow up, I think we're on schedule. But that's a vague question with a more vague answer right there.
Speaking of on schedule, we're going to go one more question, and we're almost back on schedule.
So you've been working with different combinations of guys in practice so far. Who has stood out to you thus far in those different combinations?
Yeah, with a variety of guys have had good off seasons and then going in for our first 10 practices right now. But the freshman Cormac Ryan's been really good, and Bryce Wills has been fantastic. I think he's had a great 10 days coming in right here, and for a freshman is physically a young freshman even, he's very physically gifted and strong defensively. The old guys, obviously, we're sitting here saying the old guys are sophomores, and that is interesting, but we pretty much know what to expect from them. Their attitudes have been great. Part of it too is understanding their roles, and obviously guys like Dejan and KZ, Josh Sharma have been around. We want them to take more leadership roles. But as we talk about that as well, it's not going to be their show. It's not going to be, hey, we're going to build a team around you guys. It's going to be their job to incorporate what they do within the team concept.